welcome back. Gonna be ripping the Q&A right now because, you know, we're 9 weeks out, and I know you guys love Q&As. Gonna be doing them in the next upcoming weeks as we get closer to the show, but this one's just gonna be a quick one to the second half of this video, and yeah, gonna go over some of the questions that you guys asked on my Instagram. 1 second. I got my dog a new toy, so he's playing with it. It's got like a little squeaker in it. Yeah, sorry Zeus. From my boy Seabass, goals with competing if you get or don't get your pro card this prep. So if I get my pro card, then I'm gonna keep pursuing it, and basically I'm gonna take, I would say like a year or two off, and then try to come back in like, I think either the classic or physique division, I'm not sure yet, but one of those divisions, and just basically overall try to make it to the Olympia. That's my next goal, because, you know, once you get that far, you're like, if you don't keep pushing and pushing and pushing, then you're not going to ever make it to the top. So I have that competitive mindset, that competitive attitude. So I think that if I did ever turn pro, I wouldn't just be like a one and done. I think I would actually keep pursuing and try to get to the Olympia. Now let's say that I don't get my pro card, same shit as usual. Instead of rushing into the next show, I'm probably going to take like 2 years off, maybe 1 or 2 years, just put on substantial amount of muscle mass, and yeah, I would probably come back full-time classic, because like I think I'm getting to the point where, you know, I think one day my physique and men's physique is going to be too maxed out, but who knows? Like I think I can always fit in men's physique because I do have a small waist when I diet down completely, and then I have like a perfect like thick upper chest, like thick shoulders, and it just has like the overall perfect like triangle shape that they're looking for in men's physique as well. So either way, I'm going to continue my competition journey no matter what. And I just hope that I get the pro card this time around. That's, you know, the goal for everyone, but people have been competing for years and coming back every single year, and, you know, they don't get it, but they still keep trying and never give up. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to inspire you guys with is, you know, if you're going for something, just don't give up. Like, even if you don't get there now or in 5 years or 10 years, you could still get there on the 11th year. So you're going to thank yourself that when you finally get there, you finally achieve everything that you ever worked for, you're gonna actually thank yourself for never giving up. Even when it was hard, even when it seemed impossible, you still kept pushing and you grinded and you got what you wanted. How did you start social media? So social media, like when you start social media, it's not like there's like a certain answer that's like straightforward where you can just follow the steps and then, you know, you're suddenly gonna blow up and you're gonna be there. So starting social media, you kind of have to just be yourself and post the content that you think is the best for yourself. And it's going to be different for everyone, because not everyone can do what other people do. So when I say like for you to start your own social media journey is don't copy other people. Just do exactly what you want to do and do the kind of content that you think you can do that showcases yourself in the best way possible. And no one else can be a better version of yourself. So like you showcasing exactly who you are is like the ultimate version of yourself that will ever be out there. So that's your best chance of blowing up, is if you just be yourself. A lot of people, you know, they think, oh, I'm not that entertaining. I don't think that anyone's gonna like it if I'm myself. You're never really gonna know that unless you try. So you might as well just try it and put yourself out there. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, you can keep trying. Because like I said, like even with social media, you gotta work that shit. Like it's not gonna happen overnight. You're not gonna just blow up. Like it doesn't work that way. You just gotta keep posting. And, you know, maybe one day you'll get a break and you'll hit the algorithms and get momentum going, but you'll sure as hell never get there if you just give up. All right, this one's kind of juicy. I like it. Cycle update. Now, normally I don't really talk about like, you know, cycles or nothing like that, but that was because, you know, at the time I was kind of living on my parents' roof. It's kind of disrespectful if, you know, I was to talk about that, and like if my parents didn't want me to say something about that. But now that I'm out of the house, I can openly and freely talk about anything in regarding to what I'm taking. So yeah, so basically right now we're just running Test and Masteron. Now Test is like a foundation that most bodybuilders use just, you know, to fill out, preserve muscle mass on prep. And then Masteron's like a cutting drug, like a hardener. So basically it helps you burn fat faster. Gives you a little bit of a more denser look if you take it in like safe dosages. But one of the bad side effects of Masteron that sucks is that it increases your DHT, which eventually can lead to hair loss. So if you're sensitive to hair loss, it can shed your fucking hair out. And Yeah, so like I think the more cycles of Masteron that you do, the more chances you're going to be losing your hair. So that's like the only downside I would say for Masteron. But you know, overall test is pretty good. Like a lot of people are running tests, and as long as you're not staying on the blast, which means like above one like TRT levels of test, then you're going to be completely healthy. You just can't keep blasting, and that's where people keep messing up, man. They just blast and blast and blast because it's addicting. They love the results, but that's what actually fucks you up in the long run. And if people didn't do that, they wouldn't really have as many health issues as they do. Best diet for skinny guys. Honestly, skinny guys should be eating the same thing that big guys eat. Why do you think big guys are big? It's because they eat a good diet. So if you're skinny and you're complaining that you can't eat enough, that is like the dumbest excuse I've ever heard, because literally, like, I even coach people and I have them on 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 calories of clean food, and they're doing that every single day no matter what. They won't go to bed until they finish their meals. So if these people who are working all these jobs, you know, going to school, getting good grades, or balancing everything in their life can do it, then you can do it too. There's literally no excuses for a skinny guy who says, oh, well, I can't eat enough. Like, you have to fucking eat it. And I know it's hard, and I know like some of you guys don't have a good appetite, but like force feeding, man. Like when I was in high school, I had a really fast metabolism, and I would just force feed constantly. Like I would eat basically till I was about to puke. And that's kind of how I got all this like initial size, and that's why I'm like kind of bulkier and have more upper body mass and more bigger legs than everyone, is because I was always bulking super fucking hard and training heavy. Missing Michigan or nah? Nah, bro. Honestly, ever since I got here, like there's nothing about Michigan to miss. Like the only thing I'm missing about Michigan is my family. And other than that, bro, like I was just like, it wasn't it. There wasn't good gyms. There wasn't good weather. There, you know, wasn't anything to do on the weekends. So literally in Michigan, like all I fucking did was I would stay at my house, talk to my family, do my work, do whatever I'm doing, and then go to the gym. But there wasn't anything special about Michigan that like I'm really sitting back and like thinking, damn, am I missing out on this? So no, I mean, Texas, I've been really enjoying. We got great weather. The fucking gym's amazing. It's better for my career, what I'm doing. Social media is popping down here, so it's like there's other people to work with and do what I do with. And also, like, I just like the roads. Like, as funny as that sounds, where we're from, the roads are so fucked that, like, when you're driving on the roads here, you're so not used to, like, not hitting potholes. Whereas, like, in Michigan, bro, I would hit a fucking pothole no matter where I was going. Like, that's how bad the roads were in Michigan, and I think it's because of the weather and, like, the winter. Whenever the winter comes, like, it leads to cracks in the road, which eventually leads to potholes. And it's poorly maintained for how bad it is over there. What's the cost of living down in Houston? Much cheaper than Michigan, I'll tell you that. I go to the grocery store. When I was in Michigan, I would be spending, I can say like at least $30, $40, $50 more every time I would shop. Here in Texas, like it's pretty similar. Like it's not like anything substantial, but you can tell that gas is cheaper here because it's much cheaper basically per gallon here than it was in Michigan. By I think even like a dollar. Like Demo, we say it's like $1 cheaper here?
Yeah, it's like $2.98 here, and in Michigan it's like $3.78.
Exactly. So it's over $1 cheaper here, which is like a huge difference in the long run when it comes to like paying for gas. And I can't believe it was so much in Michigan. Like what the fuck is the point? Like I don't understand how like the gas market works and why it's cheaper here and why it's more expensive there. But man, that shit was expensive over there. I was paying $50 a tank at one point. Like 55, 60 even. And that was like when the economy was pretty fucked and gas prices were high. But yeah, it's a lot cheaper to live down here in Texas. For our place right now that we're staying in, it's a nice apartment. And in Michigan, it would be a lot more expensive in this exact place for what we have here. But down here, it's reasonably priced, and I really think that, you know, we're getting our money's worth. What caused the turning point in your fitness journey? So originally, my dad would take me to the gym. I fucking love that shit. Like I would train all the time. And I was training basically because I was super weak in basketball. And I remember I would get pressed, which means that the opponents are like trapping you on the other side of the court. So it's not even like when you cross the court yet, but they had me on the other side of the court. And while I was getting pressed, I was so weak that like the older kids would like strip the ball from me. And it was pissing my dad off because at the time he was my coach. So he's like, Zach, he's like, you can't keep losing the ball. You're a point guard, which means that I have to take care of like basically handling the ball and like making sure that it doesn't we don't get turnovers and stuff. But because I was so weak, I kept losing the ball. So my dad's like, you got to get in the gym, you got to start training. And that's exactly what I did. Was I started going to the gym with him, and I actually really didn't even like the gym when I started. Like, it was kind of like forced upon me to go. But after time and time again, I started noticing like crazy pumps, and like I started looking at myself in the mirror, and then I was like, damn, I'm seeing these results. And that's really what happened. Was I saw the results, it got addicting to me, and I was like, I need more of this. Like, and then I started going to the gym like by my own will, and I became obsessed with it. And after a while of training and like seeing results, and like people coming up to me in school and saying, bro, like what's going on? Like, how are you getting so big? It became an addiction after a while, and I was like, this is exactly what I want to do. And eventually I was like, I don't even like basketball anymore. I just want to work out all the time. And that's kind of what happened. And that's how it led to the entire fitness journey, was just basically going to the gym with my dad. Briefs versus boxers. It's a funny question. Depends on what you're doing. If you're chilling and you're wearing boxers, I can't really imagine just sitting on the couch with your girl wearing like tight boxers. Like, I don't know if you guys ever get it, but like when I'm sitting down and I'm chilling, I don't want nothing touching my balls, like hugging them, you know? So I can definitely not wear boxers when I'm just like lounging or even like doing shit throughout the day. Like, the only time I'm ever wearing boxers is when I'm at the gym and I'm doing like some kind of athletic performance. Any tips on going from your parents' meals to eating clean and making sure they understand? Well, it's hard to relate because I am not, I'm living on my own, so I don't eat my parents' meals. And even when I was living in the house, I would make my own food for whatever I was eating for my bodybuilding plan. But in high school, I would say that my mom just kind of made whatever. And at the time I was a dirty bulker. So even if it had super high fat, super high sugar, or whatever it was on the table, I would still pound it because I'm like, this is calories and I needed the calories. When I was younger, I didn't give a fuck about what kind of macros I was putting in my body. And you could really see it in my physique because I was kind of sloppy, but I was fucking ginormous for my age. But now I really care about like the macros and the breakdown of like the fats, the carbs, proteins. And that's why my physique is a lot more sculpted looking now. And I have much lower body fat at this age than I did when I was like 18 and 19. But yeah, I don't really know how you really go across telling your parents about that. Like, maybe you can reach out to them and tell them like, I prefer you to cook like ground turkey without anything in it, or, you know, like ground beef or something like that. But like, honestly, if they're making like a dinner for the family, it's most likely not going to be that healthy. What's the best thing about the move to Texas? Honestly, the best thing about the move to Texas is the fact that I've woken up every single day and like look forward to the day. Like, I was like every day that I'm here is like a new day that I'm excited to like experience this day. And I think it's because everything's just like so in place, and like I just feel like I'm in my element kind of, and like I feel like there's a great sense of purpose here. So when I'm like goal oriented and I can accomplish all the tasks that I'm trying to accomplish and I feel good throughout the day, then that's like when I'm most happy in life. And moving to Texas like has really given me that sense of like I'm chasing the goal, chasing the dream. And you know, as a man, you got to have that in the back of your head in order to feel like you're doing shit and being happy. And there's just a lot of opportunity out here for me and the crew. So that's another reason why I feel like it's nice. And then also just like even going to the pool, like bro, like I've always wanted to just be able to walk outside, feel good, and like just go to the fucking pool, you know, like get a tan, like get some sunlight, like it's just normal things that like as a human you want and you crave. We're getting here in Texas, whereas like back home it was just gray skies. Would you rather be forced to only drink or eat calories for the rest of your life? Obviously eat, bro. Like that's kind of a dumb question because like think about it, like when you go out to eat, you're not looking forward to fucking putting down margaritas and shit. You want to eat those, you know, cheeseburgers and stuff. So I would definitely choose food over like liquid calories. I don't really care for liquid calories. Like it's just like, what's a liquid calorie? Like there's like shakes, there's alcohol, like stuff like that. That's not that important. Whereas like food, bro, I fucking crave that shit for real. So like I'm picking that all day. Are you going to any shows in the next year? So besides my show, which is like Universe, I might go to Nationals this year, which is at the end of the year because it's in Texas actually. They moved it from Florida to Texas, and I would just go to watch people. And then if I have like a client that is local, I'll go support him at his show and like make sure he's got everything, and I'll do that. So I'm not really sure about which shows I'm going to right now. It's kind of like whatever's convenient. Maybe I'll check out some local shows that are in Texas and just like check out the scene, do all that stuff, but I don't have anything planned for that. But anyways, I wanted to keep this really quick and make sure that this is a fast Q&A, just so that I can keep having them coming in and do a lot more in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope I answered your question that you left, and I'm gonna be doing a lot more of these in the future to come. So we're getting pretty close to the show, and I'm really excited. I got to start doing a lot of posing, practicing my posing routine, making sure I got everything figured out with that. The switch to classic this year is a big switch for me. I'm doing physique and classic this time around, so there's a lot more preparing to do, and overall I got like a lot more work this year with just like making sure that I'm ready for this show compared to last year. Whereas physique's pretty basic, you kind of have the same poses, you do front, back, and stuff, and have like a basic routine. Classic is like all this crazy, majestic transition and flowing, and basically like it's like a fucking dance you gotta learn. So, and the posing's a lot harder to hold too than physique poses, and that's basically what I was at the gym today working on for like an hour was posing. I'll be working on that. You guys are gonna see a lot of that in next upcoming vids, but I hope you guys have been enjoying the prep series lately. We're gonna have a lot more exciting videos to come, so stay tuned. Make sure you guys like this video for me, comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I appreciate all your support on Young LA, Gorilla Mind. You guys are the reason why I'm doing this down here in Texas. So anyone that ever uses my code, make sure you send me a DM, and I appreciate everybody who's using my code. Love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one.